No, with African American culture.
First you said we didn't have one.
Nope.
And now you're saying we got a fucked up one.
Yep.
My response, you got to have one in order for it to be fucked up.
Okay.
And then something you just said, which was very important, you said we don't value our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking. But guess who does value our culture?
Oh.
The world. You want me to go in?
Go on.
Our hair, our music, our artistry, our athleticism, our swag, our creativity, our art form, which is all one and the same. All of these things, our vocabulary, our language, our culture is valued by the world, and the evidence is how the world mimics us. But guess what? We the only ones that don't value it. We call it, you just was a case example. You don't value it because you said it's trash, but the world values it because they monetize and they feed off of it. You see people doing hip hop. I just see some people in Japan doing hip hop, doing breakdancing. We don't value breakdancing, but the world does.
True.
We don't value our athleticism because we're willing to give it away so they can make for millions individually, but not cultural. The culture don't make millions off of basketball. We spend millions on it to feed other cultures.
So we don't value our culture.
We don't, and that's the point, and that's the art of the game. The game is to get, if you're a salesman, you gotta make the person who's buying a car think that the car is more valuable than their money. So they're gonna say, oh, you know, this car is so amazing, but the hustle is, if it's so amazing, why are you trying to sell it?
True.
And now he's stumbling because he's like, oh, you got a point. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to give you this amount because I'm going to do you a solid and get rid of this car for you. Take this car off of you because you're in the business of making money. You're not really in the business of selling cars. And the same thing with our culture. See, once we realize how valuable our culture is, we hold the key to everything. We control the product, and once you control the product, you control the marketplace.
Okay. So that makes sense.
I had to get that off.
That makes sense what you said.
Okay.
Okay. So
now why we hate our culture? Now that's a whole different conversation. I told you why. Well, you're trained to devalue yourself.
No, I know why we hate our culture.
Go ahead.
Let me go on this.
Go ahead, go for it.
You're an Oreo cookie.
No,
yes, you are. Listen.
All right, just for the example.
You're an Oreo cookie.
I'm messing with you.
You're a black person with a white shell. You're in a white land. America's a white land.
All right.
You have white training, white teaching. So your inside is white. You have a white makeup. But your outside is black. So we're taught white people stuff as a black person. Well, this is not Africa. So now we're confused out here. True. If you go back to the Middle East, if you go back to any Caribbean country, even my country, I'm from South America, Guyana. You go back to any Spanish country, they all eat the same.
Right.
They pray the same.
Yep.
They respect each other the same. When they see you, they look at you as their brother, their sister.
Right.
When we come to America, I don't look at you as my brother, sister. If you got some fly shit on,
we're not from the same. We don't have the same nationality.
So we look alike, but I look at you like a victim. Oh shit, I'm gonna rob this nigga.
Right.
I don't look at you as a brother.
Right.
But when I went to jail, when I first walked in, the black Americans didn't help me welcome on. The Caribbeans did. The Spanish people, brother, are you okay? Are you hungry? And when I found out who I was, because they think I'm Dominican, I look Dominican.
Right.
But when they find out I'm from South America, I'm West Indian, whatever.
Right.
Oh, you're one of us. Come here, brother. This is how we eat.
Right.
This is how.
Right.
Only when I started doing things, they found out I was a barber and, oh, he's the barber? Now the black Americans like me.
Right.
Oh, shit, they could use me to get a haircut, whatever.
Right.
Why is it like that? So now it's racism within our own kind. Because whether I'm Spanish, Caribbean, whatever, I'm still black.
Right.
But we segregate ourselves amongst the black Americans. I'm telling you, I talk to people every damn day about this shit. A lot of people do not trust black Americans.
Well, first of all, black is not a nationality.
True.
Because you just, case in point, you go into prison, you're all black, but you ain't all the same. And what's happening is, when they find out what nationality you are, the nationality makes you a tribe.
Yes.
But see, we got 54 countries in Africa, and not all of them speak the same language. They don't have the same cultures, same morality, same dietary system, same
But they respect
environment.
each other.
Because they have no choice, because they're backed by the tribe. Now, I could take you down as an individual, but I ain't going to take down your whole tribe. I got to deal with the whole tribe. Oh, you mess with Steph, you messing with all the Guyanese. Follow me? But when you see black people, what is that? Where's that at? Black people, what is that? That's
I'm
no
just
flag.
using a figure of speech that America uses on layman terms.
But
you want to get technical.
But you heard the term divide and conquer.
True.
And that's the thing. We're divided because we don't know who we are. How many people you know on this planet don't know where they're from?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's the Americans. Well, this is not our land. You left a bunch of black people confused in this land.
Well, this ain't Irish people's land and ain't Italian people's land either.
But you know what?
What?
It's not their land, but when they come over here, you ever see that
They
with
have
Italians?
a national origin.
They respect their peoples. They stick together.
Because they have a nationality and a flag that supports them. Because you can't even go to the UN with an argument because they say, well, what nation are you representing? Oh, I'm a black person. What is that?
What is that? You're right.
Get the hell out of here, black person. That's why they can abuse us. You hear all these other people say, well, you can't. As soon as you mess with those other folks, they unify. They're like, oh, we're going to shut you down.
Yes.
We can't shut ourselves down because we're all a bunch of individuals, which gets us nowhere, which is the problem. Our culture is the most prolific and most influential culture on the planet in the history of this planet, and we continue to be this. Here it is. Oh, nobody wants to associate with black people in America, but watch. You mimic everything we do. Look how you dress.
True.
Look how you talk. Look at your music. Look at your food. Look how you wear your hair. And you don't want to be like us. You's a goddamn lie. You worship us.
And we're still broke. We don't have anything in life.
Because you are the food source of the planet.
So we gotta wake up then.
You gotta realize your power.
We don't realize that. We gotta wake up.
Well, we have to do that as individuals, and then we have to. First of all, we buy into the lowest denominator. We rally behind the worst of us. Oh, this guy fell. Oh my God, this guy. Look how he just. We attack each other because we want to feel good, and that's like instant gratification. If I can take you down, oh, Steph ain't shit. Steph, I feel good because I'm at least better than Steph.
And that's not a good way to feel.
That's ignorance.
That's not a good way to feel.
It's ignorance.
Yo, Jay.
But see the problem. What's happening, brother? See, once we realize, like we talked last week about the curse. But when are we gonna start talking about the blessings of this culture? Even in this conversation, we started off with the negative.
Yes.
That's because it's a habit. You know how easy it is to trash black people?
Yeah, true.
Low-hanging fruit.
I'm not saying this in terms of trashing. I'm saying this in terms of reality, real stuff.
No, reality is a perspective.
You watch the news every morning?
No.
6 o'clock every morning I watch the Philly news.
But who produces that?
No.
What culture produces that?
It doesn't matter who produces it.
Just answer the question.
If a black man got killed, no matter where the news came from, he got killed.
Does a black man produce that show?
No.
Well, then how you going to accept truth from your enemy? No, I'm gonna get to this point about black people killing themselves. But let's talk about the producer of said thing. You can't produce your show like right now. You produce a podcast and you not be the critical factor of the show. How you determine the show is how the direction you take it. So if you're going to take it by leading off on how trash we are or how many black people got killed, but you ain't talking about all the brilliance that was done by our community today. When you got time to talk about that? No. It's human nature to talk about the worst case scenario because we just
I don't think it got nothing to do with that.
What's it got to do with?
We're not dealing with who produced it. Let's take the color fact out. We're dealing with facts. If someone
facts based on whose perspective?
Are you serious?
Yes, your facts. If all facts were the same, everybody would agree on the same facts.
If you walked outside right now and there's a black man dead right on the floor, it doesn't matter if a black man produced it or a white man. The fact is, it's a black man dead.
As an investigator, I need to know time of death, situation, circumstances involving it. Any eyewitnesses? There's an investigation that goes on to that. We don't want to do the work of unpacking stuff. We want to just look at the problem and that's just it.
So you're trying to say more to it. You're trying to say black people don't kill each other the most in America?
Hell no.
What the hell?
Guess what? You know the difference between a blue collar crime and a white collar crime?
Yes.
You got people. You got corporations that are killing people in the millions by poisons in the food.
I think
all this toxicity. You talking about individuals. When you got a culture that is based upon death,
listen,
wiping out indigenous people historically, how you going to even make that comment?
Listen,
you got to be kidding me.
I did 11.
What is it? 13% black people in this country. What's the percentages? You mean okay? Don't quote me on the numbers, but it's something really low. Let's say 13. You saying 30% of people create more killing than all the other?
I'm saying black on black crime is more in America than anything else.
No, because we're the only ones who label as black on black. You don't think Chinese people kill Chinese people? But you don't call it Chinese on Chinese. You don't think white people kill white people? We don't call it white on white crime, but
we got about us.
We got an interesting label when we do it. It's called black on black.
We want to hear about us.
But you don't understand the games that's being played on you, man.
I don't know. It's no damn game. Man. This is real shit,
man. You gonna take the people who hate you to define you. That's what you're doing.
Listen, me and my boys did it. We sat in the jail.
On, man.
We sat in that yard.
You're smarter than this shit.
Listen,
you smarter than that.
When you look at the people that's in jail right now, majority of the dudes in there for robbing another black man,
blue collar,
killing another black man. No,
blue
it's
collar.
not blue collar.
Yes, that is. You know the term. You know the definition of between blue and white collar crime. You got a guy who sells marijuana or some crack, get what, 5-10 years, and the guy who sells cocaine that's a distributor, he get a tap on the hand.
Okay, so what?
And then hold on. What's that guy that just had the $1 billion with the Bitcoin thing? You heard about that? You didn't hear that news, did you?
The billion? What you talking about?
The guy about a month ago, he just extorted everybody for billions of dollars because of some Bitcoin scam. No. Here it is. He affected billions of people for millions of people for billions of dollars. You don't think that's a bigger crime than somebody robbing somebody in the corner store? That's mass crime.
Hold on. We're talking
that's white collar crime versus blue collar crime.
We're talking about robbery and death. We're talking about violence, violent crime.
You don't think destroying a person's life is violent?
Not as much.
I don't care if it's violent or not. A crime's a crime.
Forget about destroying a person's life. He still has a life. We're talking about taking lives.
Not when you kill yourself.
We take
not
the
when
most
you commit
lives.
Suicide.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Nah, that's bullshit. You know better than that.
No, I don't.
I'm
like keeping it real.
That's like if you and your wife are arguing, and I'm gonna go ask your wife about stuff right after you argue. What's she gonna say about you? She's gonna say that motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. And I'm gonna take her word for it. It's a biasism. The people who hate you are not gonna. We started a conversation on why we don't appreciate our culture, because the culture who don't like us is giving us information about our culture. You proving my point. The more you talk, the more you prove my point.
No.
He said no.
No. No.
That's why you my boy. Come on with it.
I'm talking about, see, you're justifying the bullshit that goes on in our culture. I'm talking about real shit here. I'm talking about the way we look at each other, the way we treat each other. This is real. You know, it happened to me 2 weeks ago. I went into the mall, dude sized me up. I seen it. How many white people I don't walk past and didn't even look at my ass? You know, when a black man gets on top, chances the ones that surround you is the ones that's coming to get you. They're the ones that hate you.
Let me say
this got nothing to do with them. This is us.
Let me say that. You know what a mirror is?
Yeah, I know what a mirror is.
You know what a mirror is? When you walk in a room, you don't get to see yourself.
No.
You didn't realize you were sizing him up as you were sizing him up to see if he's going to size you up. See, that's what happens. We don't know how we play a part in the equation.
But why? Why are we looking at it?
Because you buy into the bullshit. You talking, you spewing bullshit. You keep overusing the word real. And I don't think you understand when you say real. I said according to who? According to who? According to you? How come my real ain't more real than yours?
No, everybody's real is real.
It's perspective. That's my point. So when you say, no, I'm talking about the real shit. Okay, according to you, my shit is real too.
Yeah, it's real, but I'm just saying facts. You know, you can't justify a death. You can't justify certain things.
I'm not justifying. I'm explaining I'm explaining what led. I'm explaining the circumstances that led to the crime.
Jay. You know my service, right? You want to get it right now?
Yeah. I know. You got everything. What I'm just saying is this.
There's always a cause that leads to the effect. Nothing just happens in a vacuum. Does that make any sense to you?
You African, right?
Yeah, I'm African.
How do y'all treat each other, African? Do y'all hate each other? Or you see another African brother, do y'all?
That's a real general statement.
I mean, sometimes, like...
If I'm African in Africa and I'm walking right past you, Africa, and say I got all Louis Vuitton on, do you size me up as a victim, like, yo, I'm going to rob him?
That's an individual.
If we lock eyes, what do you say to me?
How far you deal with greet ourselves?
We agree.
Listen,
they deal with respect. This is real black people here. Africa, there's nothing black in Africa.
Listen to me.
That's the most blackest place in the world.
But the only thing about the problem, if you go to Africa, and you
54 countries.
If you go to Africa, you dress as good, and you go there, you get robbed.
You get okay, I respect it. I respect it.
But if you're in America,
come on.
And we know African brothers in another country.
Yeah.
We make sure that we greet you. We don't.
Right. But see what
Africa, they broke, so they'll take anything they want to take.
I hear you, but listen, I'm trying to go with a more sophisticated conversation. What we talking about is human behavior, which what precedes that are the conditions of that said human behavior. Poverty will produce a certain condition regardless of what color you are. It affects your education. It affects your diet. It affects your desperation in extreme conditions. Has nothing to do with your color. It's the conditions. Because when it's hot, you wear a tank top because it's hot.
Exactly.
Why you always wearing a tank top? Like it's hot. Why you got a scarf and stuff? It's 20 degrees out. So once you understand the conditions, you can better understand you can predict the behavior based on the conditions. So what we're talking about a culture, because we started off talking about how black people and African American people, the culture is that he says we didn't have a culture. Then we explained we went to not having a culture to having a bad culture.
And then I said,
and I told him that we have a culture because the whole world mimics our culture. Way we walk, the way we talk, all our swag. Everybody values our culture as African Americans. We're nobody.
There's no
but everybody wants to be
such thing as African American.
Is that what?
Is there anything such thing as African American? Do you believe in that? Let's keep it real.
I mean,
you are whatever you say you are.
Black American. African American is those that are actually born in Africa and they come here.
Exactly.
Black American.
I am not a Guyanese American. I just live in America. I am Guyanese. Don't put American tag on top of my culture.
But see, what you're not hearing is this. Your nationality does not denote where you are. It denotes where you were born.
Yes.
You can be a white person born in South Africa. You're a South African white person. If you're born in Japan, you're Japanese.
So why they take
But you're African Japanese or you're a Guyanese Japanese.
Hold on. So why they taking people that was born in America and throwing an African tag on it? They're doing that because of our skin and the afro.
Because we don't know who we are. Let's just keep it a buck. We don't know what nation we're from. You can say you're from Guyana, but I don't know where I'm from. I know where some they say West Africa somewhere, but how many countries are in West Africa?
We're confused.
So
this is why we don't love each other.
I can't claim anything, so I'm calling myself to the closest proximity that I think I can. So as a black person, the thing is this.
You just agree with me. You just agree. You just
might
agree.
have. I don't have a problem with
that. That goes back to me saying we don't know who we are in America.
Right.
When I go to my country, we all eat goddamn curry. We eat with our hand. We walk around barefooted.
Right.
We pray.
Right.
Same thing in Africa, everywhere. In America, it's not that. It's too
Because
much mixed religions. It's too much mixed. I'm from New York. He's from Philly. He's from the.
But that's what America is. It's a melting pot. This is the only place that you can say that you don't have a definitive culture that you can. Well, you can say the white guy, but even the white guy, because he's French, he's German, he's Italian, he's Irish, he's Dutch. So you got all these nationalities, and that's the marketing of, and that's what makes America what it is.
That's why
and I'm not
lose.
defending us being called African American, but we don't have. We need to do a proper, find out where we're actually from, which is it's a lot. It's been a job been done on us, man.
And you know what? It's bad because when I speak to people,
I'll let my man know he's on a podcast so he don't really get shot later. He's recording.
Oh, yeah.
he knew.
Don't surprise him.
It's the second time he was on there. That's why I said. So when you got people come from other countries to America, thinking America is paradise, and when they come here, they be like, "Yo, I got African clients to be like, yo, I thought America was something different."
America's a lot of things.
It
ain't just one thing. America is sexy, it's glamorous, it's lucrative, it's violent, it's hateful.
Yes.
It's mystical, it's tribal, it's disrespectful. It's a lot of things. So you can extract what you want or need from this country. And the problem is we don't know who we are. That's
True.
the problem.
And because we don't know who we are, we don't know how to identify.
Right.
And we don't know, like how you said, we don't know who we are. So
Which is huge.
that's big.
And you say, well, black people are ignorant. Well, when you had, and I'm not making excuses, I'm just doing a proper diagnosis. Because if you don't do the diagnosis, you can't even subscribe any kind of medication. We got to understand what has happened to us. And another thing, we don't give ourselves enough credit for under these extreme conditions, how far we've come in just a few hundred years. We speak it in a language that's not ours. We're like you said, we're dealing with a culture that's not ours, and we're trying to assimilate in a culture that hates us. What?
True.
We're prisoners of war, and wonder why we're struggling. You ain't supposed to be
The
successful.
same culture that raised you, the same culture that hates you.
Yeah, and see, there's irony in it all.
Yeah, you
It's
see
irony.
that?
It's irony. Now, what I like for us to get to the point, maybe not in this conversation, but at some point, talk about the solutions. And there are many ways, there are many options. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I'm desperate to hear solutions. But one thing, we have to value what we bring to the table. We don't value what we bring to the table. We say we're trash, and you say a brother looked you up and down, but when I come in here, I don't see nobody looking nobody up and down.
You know why? Because
I hand you the mic.
What I'm doing is no different from what the Africans do, the Spanish, the Asians, the Indians. Do you ever see an Asian go to a black barbershop? You ever see the Indians really do it?
No.
They stay within their community.
Right.
You know what I created in this room? A
Right.
community.
Right.
If our vibes don't connect, you're not entering this room.
I
I always separate. You got black people, you got niggas. I used to be a nigga, so I know what a nigga is.
You still got a little nigga tendency.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's cool. But I know.
I'm messing with you.
I know, because I speak aggressively. I'm an aggressive person.
Yeah,
But what
I
I'm saying
respect
is,
that.
I know what I'm looking for the person.
Right.
This man could come in here with all type of jewelry. I'm not going to look at him as a victim. I'm going to say this brother probably got money. He's probably being successful. Brother, what do you do for a living?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know. I'm not going to rob him for this stupid ass chain. My old me would have robbed him.
That's key. Now, I was about to go there. You nice segue. You didn't always think the way you do now. Now, when you thought like that, you would have sounded stupid to you back then.
Because I was part of their environment.
It's
I'm
called
no longer
growth.
there.
It's called growth. It's called growth.
It's
Now,
growth.
we measure, we look at each other as if we are the complete, we are a completed person. Well, we're completed as far as we are in the moment, but there's an evolutionary process, and there will be one going forward. Hopefully in a few years, you'll be even more wiser, and I'll be more wiser. So you
And this is what I'm trying to tell you for how many years. We can't keep worrying about slavery and all of this stuff, we got to start worrying about solutions. Slavery's long gone. We're in modern day slavery now. We spoke about this in the last podcast. We can't worry. This is a white man's land. This is their world. We had a conversation about this.
Well, that's a slave mentality.
No.
Sure it is.
We have to worry about moving forward.
But hold on. If we just agreed that we have to know ourselves, that includes an origin. Where you come from will denote who you are. If you just disregard where you come from, you can have GPS all you want. If you don't know where you left from, you got to go southeast. You don't know where you are.
You don't know where we came from.
So when you say don't think about slavery, I'm going past that. We in American history, they give us slavery. That's it.
Another key word.
Who were we before slavery?
Another key word. American history.
See,
that history is probably fake.
Well, then that's what I'm saying.
All this stuff is probably fake. We done had about 6 Bibles. All this stuff is probably fake.
Well, then we need to find out the truth.
You're not. That's like me. It's like us trying to figure out why at 6 o'clock today the sun is going to go down and the moon's come out. We don't know. I don't know why it got cold a couple months ago. We just don't know. Why is the wind blowing?
Well, because you know that it rose every day that you can remember. You can predict with confidence that it's going to rise again tomorrow, and you can plan accordingly. That's why. Because if you know where you come from, you'll have a good idea where you're going.
We don't. How we gonna know? Do the AmericanAncestry.com? What's bullshit?
Well, you got to find out why you're so screwed up.
Huh? We're not gonna find out. Kanye just came out and said that we're Hebrews now. Now the whole world, yes, we're Hebrews. I don't know the fuck I am. I don't know.
You just say you're Guyanese.
That's all I know.
See, that's
I
a
don't
luxury,
know further
but
than
that's
that.
a luxury you have.
And you know why I became
So
Guyanese?
it's not important to you now. But without that, it would change a lot.
You know why I became? You know why?
Why?
I'm Guyanese. He's African. You was born where? In America?
Yeah.
We're all the same people. We all look alike. We're just 3 different shades. Apparently, accordingly, they saying that Adam was made up of 5 different shades of clay. So I guess us 3 is 3 out of the 5. We don't know that Adam. Okay. You didn't hear about that? It's in the Bible. It says Adam was made up of 5 different shades of clay.
First of all, there was, from my understanding, there's more than one Adam, and Adam is a race which is called the Adamites.
See,
which, you know, it's a lot to unpack.
We're dealing with how many religions here?
You know, when all else fails, I use common sense, which is not common to everybody.
No.
And I'm not saying that I'm smarter than anybody.
No.
But when you use human nature, biology, different things that can be measured, we can work from that because it's scalable. We can say, okay, this is this based on these measures. But when you just say what I feel and what I think, okay, well, nice, okay, whatever, you can't.
You said exactly what I wanted to hear.
So you're right.
Common sense.
Okay.
And goes back to what I said. We can't worry about the
things
religions.
we can't control.
We can't worry about slavery. Right now, this day and time, you know what the word respect is. You know what you want. If I yell at you a certain type of way, you know I'm being disrespectful. We have to learn respect. We know we have to make money to take care of our family. It's common damn sense.
The only reason why our past is relevant because there's the past denotes the present and the present denotes the future. They're all connected. Now, for us to be focused on the past can lead to depression. To focus on the future can lead to anxiety. Now, if you want to get philosophical, they say that there's only the present, which is the only thing you can prove is the present moment. So in a sense, you're right. If we're in the moment, we can take advantage of both past and present while in the present. I mean, past and future. I'm sorry. So in a way, you're correct. But if you have a problem, it's important to know how you got in this problem, so you won't repeat. So you won't repeat.
You're not gonna know.
You see, you just give up so easy.
No,
man.
You're not gonna know. How you gonna know?
Figure it out. Figure it out.
You can't.
You ever heard of a term called reverse engineering?
Listen. No.
All right. Reverse engineering is saying, okay, how do I get what makes up a pair of clippers? What you do is take the damn thing apart and see the parts individually and study its functions.
You're gonna
and
take
then when
history
you put
apart?
it back together, you know how it works. That's called reverse
You can't do
engineering.
that with history. No. It's too many lies. It's too much. First of all, we can't even get the right religion. You're Hebrew, I'm Muslim, he's Christian, he's Buddha. Make your fucking mind up. Which is the right religion?
What do you need a religion for? I'm just curious.
Because somebody brought us here. We came from a single sperm cell. We couldn't create each other. We came from a piece of like spit.
That's it has nothing to do with religion. That's biology.
That's some genius shit. How can I could literally just bust a nut and create a grown 207-pound man? That's some genius shit. We didn't do that on our own. That's not no robot shit. We have to find out who the damn real God is. God did that. This is a God.
Well, who is he? Where is he at?
That's what I'm saying. There's too many religions. That left us confused right there. God has to literally enter this world for people to believe. Because if people believe, we will do better.
If God is omnipresent, right? He's everywhere at the same time at all times, correct?
That's what they say.
So well, I mean, if God can't do that, then he's not a God. He's an individual. If he's an individual, he has the functions of an individual, which means he's separate from the rest. There's limitations when you are something that you're not. If you are something, that says that you are these things and you are not these things.
You think God is here?
Huh?
You think God is here on this
Where
land?
isn't God? God is a force. God is
I'm listening.
So what animates you from that chair? What is that energy that gives you the power, the ability to see, touch, and feel?
It wasn't meant for me to know.
But you have it yet, right?
I have it, right? It's a fact. I am it.
So this energy that we're sharing, keyword sharing, acknowledges each other as a sentient being, correct?
Yes.
So that shared energy is the God force. Anything that's how God can be all places at all the same time, because the trick is that we're all parts of God. It's like I'll use a mirror before. If God is the mirror, God can't see its own reflection because it is the mirror. But if you break this mirror apart, you can see all the other reflections of that mirror. It's the same mirror, but just in broken pieces. Right?
Yeah.
So God, in my understanding, which I don't claim to know, it's more of an energy than an individual.
An energy?
Yes, because if God's a man, who says it's got to be a man? Why can't it be a woman? It's a woman. Is it a black woman? No, it's a white woman. And if it's a woman or it's a man, you got to take a crap. You got to wash up. You got to brush his teeth.
Whoa.
Come on, man.
You said energy, and then you put a person on top of energy.
I'm saying that's the difference between the two differences. I'm not saying it's a person.
Okay.
God is an energy. See, what we can't comprehend is infinity. We can't comprehend everything all the time at the same time. We can't do it. So since our limitations can't perceive that, we can't process an infinite energy source that's consistently always at all times everywhere. It's the whole thing.
So we agree that we're confused, basically.
I'm not confused on my definition.
That's your definition. I'm going to have my own. He's going to have his own. We call 100 more people in here. We all don't know shit.
But collectively, we all, A-L-L, have a point. And that is the point.
No, I don't want a point. I need facts here. I'm tired of fake history.
What did I say?
Fake everything.
But what did I say that can be disputed?
Everything.
Disputed then. I'll wait.
Because what you're saying to me,
I got to hear this.
It sounds confused. Just like
that's not proof of it not being.
No, it sounds like a religious book.
No, it's
God
not
is everywhere.
religion.
It's just so simple. Who bought you that present?
Well, if it's so simple, how come you can't comprehend it?
I can't comprehend. You know why?
Well, then it ain't simple.
It's simple because it was too easy to say it. We really cannot explain the fact of God, where God came from, who is God. Nobody knows God. We're not supposed to know God.
Which God are you talking about?
The God, the one who, I don't know. I'm confused too.
There's a pantheon of gods. You know that, right?
Huh?
There's a pantheon of God. There are many gods.
I don't know.
But there's only one life force.
I don't know.
There's only one energy force.
How do you know that?
Give me a second energy force.
I don't know that. See, I'm not going to...
I can say there's an energy force because we're experiencing it right now. Are we not experiencing each other?
we're talking. I don't
How
know.
do you do that without the,
Okay,
the
hold on.
experience of the conversation?
What is the energy force? Break that down.
Energy. Let's just start with energy.
Okay.
Energy is a frequency that can be measured. That's my best. I don't have a dictionary in front of me, but that's my best definition.
All I know is that you're an intelligent man that I met about 8 years ago. I don't know where you came from. I met you in Jersey. I don't know I don't know.
Well, let's talk about what you do know. We can operate from what we do know. And collectively, what I know can be exchanged with you, and you can exchange that to me, all through energy. Energy can affect the unseen, but yet it's unseen.
What I know is that we're beautiful people, and we don't appreciate our lives. I don't know how we got here. I just know I came from a single sperm cell,
How you
and
know
I
that?
grew from that.
How do you know? How do you know that?
Because that's what they tell us. That's what I'm trying to say.
We're all crazy.
We will go crazy thinking about this stuff every day.
Because you can't comprehend what is greater than you. And when we talk about something that created us, what creates you is greater than you because it produced you. But we can say that about our parents, and they can say that about their parents, and your kids can say that about you, and their kids can go on in infinitum.
Parents, great. And this is
that's why there's no ending and no beginning. We keep thinking things are linear. Infinity is, there is no beginning and there's no ending.
And this is what I'm trying to get to the point of. Our parents, a lot of our parents became lazy-minded, and they became slaves
Too
mentally.
busy working.
Huh?
Too busy trying to survive.
Survive, okay. So they lied to us. They just, whatever tag is thrown out, they jump with it. Why the hell we still telling our kids Christmas is this and Santa Claus? You know what I told my daughter, 7 years old?
Culture.
I'm Santa Claus. I'm not going to tell her no white man with a beard is Santa Claus.
Because you understand.
I can't keep
the
lying.
Game. Right.
I can't keep lying. He was lied to. I was lied to. The older your parents, the more you was lied to.
All right, now, bro, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about fairy tales and mythos. Because we're talking about fairy tales, right?
Uh-huh.
Some of our great, and I don't mean no disrespect to any religions, but a lot of our religious books are based upon what, on the surface, fairy tales.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to go into details because it'll sound like I'm being disrespectful, but there's a lot of fairy tales. But it's not a slight on the great books. We're talking about the individual who is reading that book. Because me and you can read the same book and get two different things.
Yes.
Now, if you're just looking at the fairy tale, well, this happened and he jumped off and he got swallowed by this thing and the Red Sea and all these things, we like, oh, well, that's not possible. But if you look at a fairy tale, I'll give you one example. You ever heard the one, row, row, row your boat?
Yeah, gently down the stream.
Gently down the stream.
Merrily,
merrily, merrily.
Life is just a dream.
Life is but a dream.
But a dream.
What does that mean to you?
It's fake then. This is not a real life we live in?
No, it's not fake. On the surface, it's just somebody riding on the river and just row. But what they're saying is, row, row your boat. Control your experience and you control you first. Don't worry about everybody else. And you row it down the stream versus up the stream. Because if you're going down the stream, you don't have to even row. Which means they say flow with life versus being not accepting what is. That's all that means to me. When you accept what is, then you're not a victim of it. You do it merrily with a good spirit, with a positive mindset. Because after all, life is but a dream. There's a lot of illusions that we buy into. We accept it as fact. It's an illusion. That's what I get out of that. Mm-hmm. Because my mind is more sophisticated than I was when I was a child.
I was just about to say it. But not everybody. It has nothing to do with being a child. Some people are still not awoke.
But that's
you just got a blessing that you're awoke.
I'm still not awoke. I'm still
to a certain
trying
degree
to wake
you
up.
are. You're more awoke than a lot of people.
Well, there's a lot of people more awoke than me.
True, there's levels to this.
So the point is, the goal is to be more aware.
Yes.
Of your experience. Now, the thing about going down that rabbit hole, as you heard that, you know, the Alice in the Wonderland experience. You go down that rabbit hole, but we never talk about where you land. Or, you know what I mean? We don't go down that rabbit hole. Because once you go down that rabbit hole, once you start thinking too much, you can drive yourself crazy because you're out there alone. You know, people who think outside the box, they got to deal with the ridicule. People say, "Oh, you're crazy." Oh, I'm crazy.
Kanye.
Yes.
I understand Kanye.
Huh?
I understand Kanye.
He thinks out of the box.
Yep. And so do we.
Yeah.
And we're crazy.
But
I
see,
know I'm crazy. I don't
but
give a
the sheep often don't think like the shepherd. The shepherd's an individual. The sheep all think alike. And the sheep looking at they like, that shepherd is crazy. He always got that staff and he's always pointing at different stuff.
I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy.
Well, if you're in an insane asylum, you want to be the one person that's crazy. Because there's called, mass hysteria. Mass hysteria is when everybody's crazy and everybody don't know it because everybody else is crazy. So crazy is normal. We normalize insanity because it takes a lot of effort to think. Thinking is very laborious. It takes effort to think. Now, how about this? I'll tell you what sneaker to wear. I tell you who to vote for. I tell you what cultures is hot, what cultures is dope. I tell you what to say. You know what I mean? That's easy. And most people do what's easy.
Exactly. And that's what parents do.
But that's human nature, though.
Parents control a robot. They create a robot. Eat your carriage. Go to school. Go to college. They do whatever that person told them to do. They're going to tell you what to do.
Right.
No.
Social norms.
We're breaking that.
You have to if you want to change the equation.
Breaking that.
And that's what children do. The children usually come up with, well, I don't want to do it that way. Or it ain't like that now. You hear that all the time.
Yep.
Because they're right. But at the same time, history does repeat itself because there are some things that you just can't avoid. Now, the individuals may change, the places may change, but getting robbed is going to be robbed whether you're in China or if you're in Camden, New Jersey. You're going to fall in love whether you're in Paris, France, or if you're in Newfield. These things are paradigms that are just universal. And parents try to do their best to instill this in the kids, but the kids like, well, since they never experienced it, they like, well, let me find out for myself. And that's really the best education, if you find out for yourself. It's the only way you're going to get wise. I don't know. I'm just talking now.
You see, everything is so scary. You said education. Like, even that's a problem. Because the stuff that we get educated on is false, too.
Because the system is flawed.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're indoctrinating a system that doesn't work for us. But it works for other people, though. See, that's just it.
Yeah.
They want you to get in the game that is designed for you to lose. Now you want to play a game that the objective is for you to lose. That's how you win, by you losing. You're going to play that game. So if you win, now how does that manifest in the real world? I give you a big check to sell your people out. You win, but you lose.
And you know what? It's really.
Am I crazy?
No. You know what? When you really think about it, it's really chess.
Yes.
We created the world. They have this thing. They dotted every damn I. We
taught them.
We work for them. Everything is their rules. Everything is. You have no say so, man.
But guess what? Like we said last week, they need you to pull this off.
Yeah.
So if you didn't pull it off, they wouldn't get it off. So you hold the key. Like in chess. In chess, a pawn can win the game. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. It's not about the piece, it's about the player. It ain't the game, it's about the player. If you learn to play the game, it's a fun thing.
We all will have to wake up.
Huh?
We all will have to wake up together, collectively.
That's a paradigm shift. It'll happen.
Nah.
It will.
Nah.
Yes, it will. See, if you don't accept it to be, it won't be. But when you accept it to be, you open up the possibility.
I'm looking at life now compared to when we was being raised. It probably was different because you're older than me.
Yeah.
Look at your life growing up as a kid. How was that? Like,
well,
it was fun.
Seeing it through the eyes of a child, yes. But it wasn't always fun.
But even when you was in your 20s,
30s,
your 20s and 30s, how was people? How was life? Wasn't it more happy?
Yeah, I had different priorities back then.
It's different now.
Yeah, but you know, it's different because as you get older, you get slower, which gives the illusion that everything's faster. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. As a young person, you don't know what fast is because you don't know what slow is. You just there. And and in your world as a child, everything that you think is important is childish to an adult. But to a kid, it's serious. I didn't get my G.I. Joe. What the world's going to end. Well, that's important to a child.
Some people are still childs mentally. You could be a grown child.
Huh?
You could be a grown child.
Well, yeah, not
mentality.
physically, you're not no damn child.
No, but mentally,
yeah.
That's even the worst. You're better off being physical.
Well, my thing is, change is inevitable. We keep resisting change. What is that all about? That's the only thing that's constant is change. And we fight, kick, and scream all the way. But that's what I mean by row your boat down the stream. Because if you just, how are you going to be mad at what is? Well, what's that? How's that change anything? You hurt because you didn't win. Okay, somebody won, but this wasn't you this time.
Change only happens if you want change to happen.
No, you have no say in it.
You have no say in change.
It just changes.
No, but check this out. You do have say in change.
All right, let me hear it.
We're in December, right?
Oh, you do have say in change. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Because to me, in 3 weeks, we're going to have January 1st, right?
Uh-huh.
It's one big-ass long year. What changed?
Nothing other than
they put numbers to make it.
To measure it.
If I told you to come to work when the sun, remember back in the days, you come to work when the sun goes up, you leave when the sun go down.
Uh-huh.
This is how they merit time for us.
Right.
So you need numbers. It's just a new year, but that don't mean you change for the year. You can be the same. You can be the same person next year.
You know, I always tell you that the world doesn't change. You change. And what that means is that you said when you were younger, you were doing some criminal activity. You don't do that no more.
There's a lot of criminal acts because I was stupid.
But you changed. But it's still criminal activity even though you changed.
That's what I'm saying. You have to change.
And when you change how you see the world.
Yes. How do you change?
Through experiences.
One way.
You change through evolution. If you're talking about biology, you grow.
Sometimes.
You decay. If you really want to get into the real hard facts, the minute you're born, you're decaying.
I think you have to change first by finding a way to wake up. Wake up, look at your life, and be real with yourself where your life is going wrong.
So what you're talking about is a form of death. Because to go to sleep means to be non-animated, or not to get too technical. When you die, it ends something. I mean, we could play semantics and change the words. But when something ends, it essentially is dead. But in order for something to be born again, it has to stop to give birth to the new equation. But we don't, you're shaking your head. But you just said, what? You don't understand that?
No.
When you change, it's the death of an old idea or an old thought form or an old reality. Because when you thought as a thief, it was a reality. And within that reality, there are rules of being a thief. Stuff you have to be concerned about that people who aren't thieves don't think about. You preoccupied yourself with people who were thieves, people whose job was to stop thieves, where the money was, where the values were, what time to do it. All these things you thought about as a thief. But now you're not a thief. You don't think about those things no more. You think about new things, which means you have a new thought form, which changes your reality. Your reality changes by how you think. So once you change how you think, it changes your reality. We're taught that a reality changes how we think. No, you dictate change by how you think. Because you're in a bad mood, it's a whole different reality.
You know when I started seeing my change process?
Where?
When I sat in my bed in jail and I had to figure out how did I get here.
That's what we talking about when we talk about slavery, different things.
It was my
origin.
It was my death. And I said I ruined my life. No one felt this pain except me sitting in this damn cell.
As a Christian,
you ever cried inside? Huh? You ever had an inside cry? Like
I probably have.
You cry like you're not physically crying. You're crying inside. You're boiling. my body used to just tense up laying in this cell.
That's the death process.
I was going through it.
Right.
And I said, I have to figure out a way to do things better for myself. It had nothing to do with my family. You don't think about that shit in prison. You think about yourself, because this is an internal pain I was going through.
Okay.
And when I came home, I vowed to myself I would never, the last words I said to myself when I left this cell, I will never see you again. I'd rather die before seeing you again.
Okay.
Right now, I'd rather die before going back to prison. Literally. Kill me.
I believe it.
And I had to find change. So my change came within people, because whether I'm listening to it, a podcast, I'm listening to the radio, talking to you, we're all people.
Right.
But it's a problem with change. You got to know the right people to get around with. Because I could go to the street corner right now and get a drug dealer, and he could show me something. He could show me a couple of things.
I'm gonna give you a fact. You are what you attract.
True.
You are what you repel. You attract certain people because of how you think.
Now.
Okay. Always. You think different, so you attract a different group of people. When you was a thief, you wouldn't have attracted me. I'm not saying I'm better.
I wouldn't know.
We might have crossed paths, but we wouldn't even. Not you called me corny or square.
Exactly.
You know, I'd have been all those things to you.
I made a video about that. You're right. You're right. And now I'm corny and square to a lot of my old peers.
Right.
Because our minds are someplace else.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I yell at my brother-in-law all the time about this, because we all used to race cars, and he's always calling me about a car. And you know what I tell him, bro? I don't give a two fuck about no damn race car. I got 2 damn kids.
Right.
You got a kid. We got a bigger shit to worry. You talking about a fucking race car?
Right.
I don't give a fuck about no damn car.
But I mean, there was a time when you may have thought about that.
In 2000, I did.
Right.
I'm no longer want to do that. I no longer want to stand that street corner that I used to. I used to love standing at the corner of Suffern and Winter Lev, and chill at the corner store and eat the big hoagie with the quarter waters. I don't want to do that shit no more.
No. You've been there, done that.
I don't. And then, you know, the ones that don't grow is going to say, he changed.
Right.
But he's bougie and all this other. Why do you use words like that? He's bougie. Because you're better, not better, because you want better for yourself, you become bougie?
It's a lot of low self-esteem. Like I said, we never had therapy. We as a culture, we are pretty in a bad state. But we come from a bad place.
You're right.
We keep saying that something's bad on itself. And I know I'm jumping, but the fact that you went through prison, I can only listen to hear what you went through. So since I'm attached to you as your friend and your brother, I'm experiencing it through you. So I don't have to experience that. So we have to, I think life is set up for us to experience as many things as possible. And through these experiences, define who you are. So somebody went to prison and they cool with it. They like, yo, this is where I'm at. And they get out and they go right back. Some people go to prison and become greater than. Because sometimes you have to take, I told you last week, a measurement of a man or a person is when they don't have nothing. Now who are you?
I'm happy I went to prison.
That's deep.
I'm happy.
Deep for you to say that.
I'm happy I went to prison.
Break it down.
If I didn't go to prison, I wouldn't have met the people I meet now. This is my second life.
You died. See what I'm saying?
You're right.
Not in the physical.
And I'm not shooting the people that I met in my past. The only thing that I learned was street stuff. I learned how to survive in the streets.
Which is
and y'all know, I'm a hustler. I can sell anything. That's the benefit of me surviving in this world.
Right.
I'm a hustler.
But you carry that into your mindset too, and it's working for you.
Yeah, but it's other things I needed in life.
Right.
Now I have a family. I needed
refinement.
I needed certain things, you know.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, but
that's a process. There's a difference from first grade to third grade, but you need second grade as a conduit between first and third grade. So where you were defines who you are. We're going full circle when we talk about slavery and beyond. But if you know where you come from, it'll help you understand who you are and how you got here. Okay?
And we won't know.
But you just told me how you got here. through your personal experience. I'm bridging the two things.
There's no slavery to me is no different from a person that's coming from the inner city.
No different going to prison.
Prison. The ones that live in the hood that's struggling.
But this is my point. When you're stripped from what you think you are, this is something that, I told you I stepped away from the art game, right?
Uh-huh.
And the beauty of that, if there is a thing, once I took away my identity, it allowed me to discover who I'm about to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you are what you are and you repeat the cycle of always being, you're a barber. That's all you do. You just a barber. You a barber. I ain't listening to you about finances.
And that's
I ain't gonna listen to you about religion. You just a barber.
And that's why I tell people, I am not a barber.
But my point is, you're constantly becoming what you're becoming.
Yeah.
You're evolving. And that's the point. But you gotta see, this is the thing that's
I don't want to be just a barber.
But you gotta understand and appreciate what you're not. To appreciate what you are. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, you need a dishonorable person to make you honorable. You need a hood nigga to make you a righteous brother. You follow me? Mm-hmm. Because in the face of ignorant shit, you're still righteous. Right?
Uh-huh.
If you a hood nigga, you gonna be a hood nigga no matter if somebody righteous around you or not. You hood. But you're defined by everything else. I know I'm going all over the place.
No, I get you.
But you as a man has to experience adversity. And you coming through it defines you as a man. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you need to go through some shit to mold you into the man of give you steel-like qualities. Because now you ain't afraid of no jail shit.
No, I'm
you
not
ain't afraid of
jail.
nothing about that, but somebody never been to be shook, like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said, man, you'll survive that bullshit.
I just know that I became
a better man.
A figment of my environment.
Okay.
You've been to my neighborhood.
Yeah.
My neighborhood, it's all petty crimes, drugs. It's the hood.
Okay.
They don't teach you how to go to college. They don't teach you. I don't know no one.
You learn how to survive out there.
Nobody graduates in my neighborhood like that.
But you do learn how to survive.
But that's just hood shit.
But that's not insignificant, though.
It's survival.
Yeah.
But we're all surviving.
Right.
It's good survival and bad survival.
Well, surviving is surviving.
No, it's levels to surviving.
If you don't survive is one thing, and if you do survive is another. Now, what you do with that experience, because that could either make you or break you. And I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So if it makes you, it's a benefit. It's college. It's prison. You had to pay a price, and that's what we don't understand. You got to pay for everything. Everything, there's a price attached to it. And we were talking about money last week, and the difference between money and resources. Now, you got resources, people will pay you money for that resource. True. Our friendship is a resource. Because if you need me in the middle of the night, I'm there. Boom, that's a resource. You can. That's a tool. It's an advantage. Now, if you don't have it, now you see how valuable having a good friend is. So, money is a means to is a resource. If you don't have a car, I got money, so I can go buy one, right? Mm-hmm. If I don't have no food, I got money, I can buy one. It's a tool. If your door's locked, you got a key, you can open it. So, all these things are not good and bad, they're tools. Your experience in jail is a tool to get you from what you was to who you are. And that prison had to stop you on a dime. That's hard, that's heavy. When you get what they call paradigm shift, when you get hit with an overhand right and knocks you out, you down.
But it's not really meant to do that. I was supposed to come home.
To get back up.
Prison's really like, it's like slavery too.
It is.
It's a revolving door.
Complex?
Yes.
Hell yes.
I'm not supposed to came home and move to a different state and have my own business.
You're supposed to have child support, baby mama, in and out of jail.
Prison breaks up the black family.
Absolutely.
It keeps the black man from gaining wealth, a job.
Absolutely.
That tag. You know these jobs didn't accept me?
Right.
They didn't give a shit about that paper I got hanging up there.
Right.
They'll care about when he get his own, because he don't have a felony attached to it.
Right.
That master's degree ain't shit in this world right now.
Wow.
It just sits there looking at me every day. Nobody gives a fuck about that degree I got. You're an ex-felon. You have a 14 count indictment.
But nobody can take that.
You was in the front page of a newspaper.
But one thing they can't take is that knowledge you gain from that.
Yeah. So what I had to do was say, you know what? I can't let y'all break me. I gotta find a way to make means without going back to prison. Because usually I could have been like, man, fuck y'all. I'm going back to the block.
But let's not minimize that. Because if you hadn't went to prison, you would never got that.
I wouldn't have had a GED.
You wouldn't even cared about that.
I got kicked out of school at 16.
But see, now you know your potential. And the degrees, which that is a degree of knowledge that you gain from that.
According to who?
According to you.
According to them? That's their degree.
That's not about them. That just shows that you were dedicated, disciplined to endure what it takes to get one of them. It's a measurement.
True.
Because a lot of people can't get that. I don't care
still their schooling.
Huh?
What would you rather have? You rather have the American degree, or you rather have? Let's go back to our. Let's go back to us. Let's go back to Africa.
Okay.
You rather have what these kids in Africa have, or you rather have that degree? Those kids in Africa could do shit that they can't do in America.
But when you say Africa, 54 countries. Keep
54 continents. Continents, right?
No, the
54.
continent is Africa. The countries are what makes up the continent. Right. So if you're asking, would I rather have a college degree or have street knowledge?
Well, they street knowledge, their skills, their skill set.
It depends on what I'm going after. If I want to be a chef, I need to learn how to cook. I don't care about the mechanics. So in other words, it's about a tool. Once again, that degree, if it's going to help you get what you're going after, then it's effective. If you're trying to learn how to survive out in the street, that ain't going to do you no good.
Exactly.
It's a tool. I'd rather have information, because what you do with information gives the information value.
That's the biggest scam in the world.
Not really.
It's a scam.
It's a scam that...
If you don't utilize it...
True. The scam is that, if there is a scam, that you have to pay an exorbitant amount in order to go make money, to pay all that exorbitant amount back.
It's business.
It's business. Everything
I have to buy supplies, spend money to make money.
Right.
I have to spend money to make money.
But, I mean, the best information is free information. Now, not all information is free.
Yeah.
And when you get something for free, you don't tend to value it. Right? So when you have to go through what you had to go to get that, you're supposed to honor and respect that because you busted your ass for that.
I respect anything
I'm saying
I did.
in general.
General.
In general. So a degree depends on what you went to school for and if it's paying off once you get out. That's what that means. I mean, you can't say it's a waste of time. And you can't say it's a valuable tool. If you're going to learn how to crochet or whatever, and if you can't make that pay for itself,
it's a waste of time if...
Oh, not only that, but see, here's the other thing with college. You learn, it's about your associations, the people you meet. That's where the get down is. Because these people, you're dealing with other progressive people who are potentially going to be progressive people in the future. And then the people they know. You got a college degree at a HBU. You got a fraternity that's going to support you. Oh, you went to Grambling? Oh, shoot, yo, come on, man. You ain't even got to fill out the app, man. Come on, man. You're a fraternity brother.
It creates a different type of network.
Yes. You're in the sphere of people who are making influences. But this is the other thing. Now, here's the flip side of that. Your street hustlers, them cats that grind, them cats that are grimy, that go and get that, are usually the captains of industry. Isn't that interesting? Not usually, but you take somebody who know how to get that, you know what? Get that cream, fearsome. And all like I always said, some of your most successful people have been through a lot and been through a lot of extremes and a lot of adversity.
I think you have to figure out, like I told my young kids I cut.
I know I'm all over the place, but go ahead.
Figure out the life you want. To make it less confusing, I tell them this all the time. What kind of life do you want? Because I think everybody should have a good life. Do you want a nice house? You want a nice car? You want 3, 4 kids? You want what they have. So you know what? You got to find a 6-figure lifestyle.
Keeping up with the Joneses?
Not really keeping up with the Joneses. You have to create a comfortable life. $50,000 a year is not going to do what you just told me. The car alone is going to take $50. You want a damn Porsche. You want a wife. You want 3 kids. You want a $500,000 house.
But I would not. I mean, I agree with you to some degree, but I would not want to build my life based upon wants. I think that's kind of in the childlike mindset. Not saying I'm going somewhere, so forgive me if that sounds a little cruel.
No, go, speak.
Because you're not gonna get everything you want. You got to get over that.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Well, are you gonna get over not being young all the time? How you gonna get over not being 21 and you 40 years old?
I've been home going on 9 years in February. Everything I have right now is what I wanted.
Are you happy?
I wanted that house.
Are you happy?
I've been had the same girl.
Are you happy?
I wanted a son and a daughter.
Are you
I
happy?
wanted a BMW.
Are you happy?
Happiness is a whole different problem.
Are you
Nobody's happy.
So what's the point in achieving something that
We're not
can't
happy
be achieved?
We're not happy because we're selfish. I'm selfish.
Now you're getting to where I'm
selfish.
talking about.
You're not selfish? We all selfish?
Yeah, I guess,
because we always want more.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that's not a bad attribute, because when you think about it, you have to have goals to reach to evolve. Because if you don't have these goals to reach for, you'll be stagnant. So yeah, it makes sense. But when you appreciate what is, man, that is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
man.
I'm trying to learn
peaceful.
how to do that.
That's peaceful, man. And you can't buy peace.
No.
There's no finite. And when you say, you know what, I'm good. Who says that? It means that.
Yeah, that's hard.
Consistently.
You know who says that a lot?
Who?
And I respect him, my brother.
Wow.
My
Good
brother,
example.
we
Good
argue
example.
about so much shit, right?
Right.
And we're like 2 different people.
Uh-huh.
I always tell my brother he loves Audis. He got about 6 of these shits.
Wow.
But they all like 2007s, 8. And I always tell him, yo, bro, your car is old as shit.
Uh-huh.
He's happy with that. He's happy.
Can't be mad at that.
Bro, move to Jersey and sell your house. Get a bigger house.
Right.
He's happy.
Yeah.
And he always explains that he did everything. He's happy with his life.
Wow.
And I'm like, one day maybe I could get like him.
That's the goal, sounds like to me.
Because I don't wake up happy. And I have a lot, but I still don't wake up happy.
That's what I was trying to get at.
I'm selfish.
That's almost like always being hungry, even if you just ate something. Gluttony. It's like a hole that can't be filled. And that you'll never be happy in that. But see, when you appreciate what is, how old are you?
44.
Now you'll appreciate being 44 when you're 54. Trust me. You will. So might as well appreciate it now, because you are that now. Right? If you realize what you are, you're complete. You're intelligent, you're a businessman. The checklist goes on and on and on. Now I'm not telling you not to be ambitious and not strive for more, but have peace in what you have, because you can build upon that peace. And then when things come and go in your life, opportunities, constantly. But when you're at peace, you're seeing it from different set of eyes.
True.
I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to figure this out in real time, but
We don't know. We just
I'm good. I don't claim to have everything. I know there's a lot of things I'd like to have materialistically, but I'm excited about the challenge. I'm excited about, okay, today creates another opportunity for me, and every now and then, and since you've known me, you see me evolve in different types of perspectives. And I'll be like, I gotta get this, I gotta get this. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Then I'm like, oh man, it sucks. I go through all the
pros and the cons.
Yeah, but what you do see in me, if anything, is me being optimistic and me being excited about the possibility of things.
Yeah, I gotta get more happy. I'm not happy, and that's a problem I'm having.
Well, that's a problem.
Because like I said, I'm greedy. I'm selfish.
Well, being happy and happiness is 2 different things. I think, because being happy is fleeting. That's a mood. When you're like, whatever. But to be happiness is being consistent and being peaceful for what is. You know what I mean? To me, at the end of the day, I'm good in the sense that